There's a rumor going around. If you like this video and subscribe, you will activate Sage Mode. Hi guys, this is the next part of What if Itachi Uchiha was reincarnated in the world of fairy tale. I hope you enjoy. Itachi lifted up a man by the collar. Do you know where the Oracion Cease are hiding? Itachi asked as around them was a beaten army of a dark guild. Mira stomped on one of the dark guild members' head. Tell us, Mira ordered in a cold tone. We don't know, the man said shaking. Are you sure? Maybe I need to refresh your memory. Itachi activated his Sharingan. The man then turned blue and shook his head. They're in a deserted village to the west. It used to belong to the ancients. That's all I know. Please don't hurt me. Much obliged. Itachi said and looked at the man with his Sharingan, making the man fall asleep. Do you think the others are alright? Mira asked as she deactivated her takeover. Unless they encounter Sasori, I'm not particularly worried. Itachi replied. What about those guys from Blue Pegasus? You called them weak, didn't you? Mira questioned. They might be weak compared to you and me, but they are strong in their own right. After all, the four of them are the strongest in their guild. I just don't really like their style, Itachi said as he got annoyed thinking about them hitting on Urza and Mira. Neither of them would understand the words, back off, unless you scare them. So, you think they are alright as well as the others? Mira asked. Well, maybe not Uchiha. Itachi said with a sweat drop as Uchiha would most likely get captured unless he uses his so-called perfumes. Anyway, let's head west. We need to concentrate on the goal, to rescue Wendy and Happy. Itachi said as they ran west. They kept running until they arrived in front of a ravine surrounded by waterfalls, with a small area floating on the water that looked like an ancient village. This must be it. Look. Mira pointed at the other side where they saw a Gray battle against Racer. Looks like Natsu and Gray found this place before us. Itachi jumped down into the ravine with Mira right behind him. Itachi looked around until he spotted a few magic signatures coming from a cave. In there. They both ran towards the cave when suddenly, out of it came Jalal. Itachi widened his eyes in surprise. Jalal stood before him wearing the same tattered clothing from their battle at the Tower of Heaven. Jalal and Itachi locked eyes as Jalal just walked past him as if he didn't even know him. Who was that? Mira questioned. Jalal, Itachi muttered as Mira then widened her eyes in shock. She was about to attack the blue-haired man when Itachi suddenly grabbed her wrist. Don't. Something strange about him. He's different somehow. He acted as if he didn't even know who I was. What? Do you think he has amnesia? Mira questioned. Most likely, it was either by the cost of my attack or the fact that he almost drowned at the bottom of the ocean. Itachi replied when suddenly they heard a familiar voice. Natsu. Get up. Happy shouted from inside the cave. Itachi and Mira rushed inside and saw Natsu looking around. Jalal. Where are you? He left. Charles said. That bastard. Natsu cursed. I don't know who he is, but taking Wendy back is our priority right now. Charles said. That's correct. Itachi and Mira walked up to them. Itachi. Mira. Happy cheered. Did you see Jalal? Did you take him out again? Natsu questioned. I saw him, and no, I did not take him out. He left. Itachi replied. Why didn't you take him out? Happy questioned. If I did, I would have to use a lot of energy I cannot afford to waste. Especially with Sasori around, who is much stronger than Jalal and Laxus. In fact, he's on par with me in my 6th state last time I checked, but he might have grown stronger since last the time. Itachi said and lifted up the tiny unconscious Wendy bridal style. Let's get her back to the others. We'll worry about the Oracion Cease later. Itachi said as he saw Midnight sleeping in the corner. He decided to ignore him and move out with the others. I will carry Wendy, Charles said, bringing out her wings. Let's go. Happy. Natsu said. Aye, sir. Happy brought out his wings and lifted Natsu and flew off after Wendy and Charles. How are we supposed to follow after them? Itachi questioned when Mira suddenly turned into her Satan soul form and lifted Itachi up bridal style. This is how. Mira said and stretched out her devil wings and flew after them. I don't know how to feel about this, Itachi said with a sweat drop. As they were flying, they flew over Gray and Racer. Racer then suddenly vanished. Natsu. Watch out. Gray shouted as Racer appeared above Happy, Natsu, Charles, and Wendy and kicked them towards the ground. Mira flew down to them with Itachi in her arms. As they landed, they saw that Natsu managed to grab Wendy before she hit the ground. Happy. Charles. Natsu shouted as the two cats were knocked out. Damn. Natsu was about to grab Happy and Charles when Itachi grabbed Happy and Mira grabbed Charles. Let's go, Itachi said as they ran into the forest. Gray. Deal with him, Itachi said as Racer was approaching them. Of course. Gray stood in front of Racer. Ice make. Rampart. A large wall of ice appeared behind Gray as Racer crashed into it. Go. I'll handle this guy, Gray shouted. Are we just going to leave him by himself? Natsu questioned. He won't be by himself much longer. My eyes could see two others approaching them. And by their energy signature it was Leon and Sherry. Gray will be fine. Let's just keep going. One must never lose sight of the mission. Itachi replied as they kept running. As they ran through the forest, Happy started waking up. Are you okay, Happy? Natsu asked and looked at his little blue pal who was in Itachi's arms. Natsu, where are we? Happy asked. Don't talk. Just get some rest, Natsu said. But, Jalal is, Happy muttered. We will worry about Jalal later. First we need to take down the Oracion Cease. Itachi said. I don't get it. I thought you killed him back at the Tower of Heaven. What the heck happened? Natsu questioned. I did too. But it seems this Brain character knows Jalal and was able to save him. By the way, what happened to Brain? Itachi asked. When Jalal knocked Natsu out, he suddenly blasted Brain into a hole in the ground. Happy replied. Is he dead? Mira asked. I don't think so, Happy replied. Itachi, Natsu, Mira Jane. Hibiki's voice was heard in their heads. Wah. Natsu questioned. Can you guys hear me? We hear you loud and clear, Hibiki. Itachi said. What? Hibiki? Natsu questioned, having forgotten all about their new teammates. The guy from Blue Pegasus. Mira said. What a relief. I was getting worried because I couldn't get through to anyone. Hibiki said. Where are you? Natsu questioned, looking around, making Itachi sigh, and Mira let out a nervous chuckle. Not so loud. Some among the enemy have terrifyingly good ears. They could be listening to every word we say. That's why I'm talking directly into your heads. By the way, have you found Wendy and the cat? We have them, although Wendy is passed out. Itachi replied. Oh, that's great. Good job. How's Urza? Has she woken up yet? Itachi asked with a little hint of concern. She's fine. She's awake, just getting the last bits of poison out from her system. She should be back on the battlefield in just a few minutes. I'm going to upload a map into your heads that'll lead you here. I can't connect with the cat, though, probably because of its injuries and reduced magic power. At any rate, hurry back. What upload? What are you talking about? Oh, Natsu said when suddenly the map was placed in their heads. They ran back towards their camp. What just happened? Happy questioned. Hibiki used his archive magic to upload a map into our minds that shows us the way back to them. Itachi explained. Why didn't I get it? Happy questioned. You are out of magic power, that's why. Itachi replied. Meanwhile, Gray faces off with the Oracion Cease member, codenamed Racer. You've stopped me twice now. My name will be tarnished unless I do something, Racer said with a sly smirk. Oh, you don't say. I could easily catch up with your friends if I felt so inclined. Racer appeared behind Gray at incredible speed, shocking the ice mage, who turned around to face Racer. Racer was once again gone and appeared behind Gray again. But I won't feel satisfied until I eliminate you first. Gray turned around, but Racer was gone and appeared behind him once again. I'll have plenty of time to catch up after that. That's what you think. Gray brought his hands down as the ground began to freeze. Racer vanished and appeared behind Gray. Too slow. Racer kicked Gray in the back. Too slow, too slow, too slow. Damn, I can't even see him, Gray said when a force pushed him to the ground and Racer appeared behind him. You can make up excuses about how your ice wall used up your magic, but they won't work. Racer mocked. What did you say, bastard? Gray questioned, annoyed by this speeding punk. Come at me at full speed. Dead Grand Prix. Start. Racer swung his arm down when the sound of motorcycle engines were heard all around him. What are these sounds? Gray questioned when suddenly out from the woods came several green magic cycles charging at Gray. Magic cycles. Gray did his best to dodge them, but some of them managed to hit him on the side. Motor show from hell. Racer was now on a red magic cycle and rammed it into Gray. Dance. The other magic cycles began circling Gray. You can ride these things. These machines were built to complement my own speed. They're too much to handle for slowpokes, Racer said. Sounds interesting, Gray said and jumped on a green magic cycle. Let's go, you wild stallion. How kind of you to include SE plugs. Gray said and followed after Racer with the SE plug fueling the cycle with Gray's magic power. It's gonna be tough, having this thing constantly sapping my magic away, but I got no choice. Let's do it. Amusing. You're challenging me to a race? Racer questioned with an amused grin. Ain't any rules. Prepare yourself, Gray said as they raced throughout the forest. Oh, for someone from a goody two-shoes guild, you got some sharp senses. Racer said with a smirk. Don't you dare mock Fairy Tail, Gray said as he gathered his hands together. Ice make. Lance. Gray shot lances made out of ice at Racer. Racer managed to dodge by driving off a cliff with Gray shortly following after him. Still way too slow, Racer mocked. Damn, it's hard like this, Gray said as they drove down the side of the cliff. Are you quick enough to dodge this? Racer said as a magic circle formed on his palm. High side rush. Several spinning tires appeared and charged at Gray. Tires. Gray quickly drove the bike in a zigzag maneuver dodging the tires. Not bad. But, the dead Grand Prix is just getting started, Racer said as they drove inside of a log. Racer then moved his bike sideways. Let's see you dodge this, Racer said as a cabinet in the back of the cycle opened shooting red blasts at Gray. Gray quickly rammed the bike in the side of the log creating an exit for him to dodge the blast. Damn, this guy's insane. Gray stopped the cycle. What's the matter, pretty boy? Racer asked as he had stopped his cycle as well. Then the front area of his cycle opened up and blasted red beam attacks at Gray. Gray quickly began riding the cycle again dodging the blast attacks. Suddenly he spotted Leon and Sherry. Leon, Gray said. Gray, perfect timing. Get on, Gray said. What? Leon questioned. Just get on, Gray said and Leon nodded understanding the situation and jumped on the back of the cycle. Leon-sama, Sherry said. Don't worry, you stay on standby, Leon said as they drove off after Racer. As they drove after him in a field, Leon decided to ask. Gray, where's Wendy? Don't worry, Natsu, Itachi and Mira saved her. Gray replied. I see. More importantly, could you deal with him? It's hard for me to use my magic while driving, Gray said as he drove after Racer. Oh, in that case, pay close attention. I'll show you some real make magic, Leon said with a grin. Cut the big talk. Here goes. Leon gathered his fist into his palm letting out a cold breeze. Leon, you're using both hands, Gray questioned remembering how Leon bragged on Galuna Island about being able to do it with one hand. That's what all taught us, Leon said with a smile and Gray gained a small grin on his face. Ice make. Eagle. Leon sent eagles made out of ice directed at Racer. The eagles then crashed into Racer's cycle breaking it. Did we get him? Gray questioned. No, it didn't seem to, Leon said when Racer appeared above them. Playtime is over. Racer crashed down on Gray and Leon's cycle breaking it but both the ice mages leapt out. Ice make. Ape. Ice make. Hammer. Leon created an ape out of ice that swung its fist down on Racer who vanished at high speed. Then Gray made a hammer out of ice and brought it down on Racer who once again dodged with his speed. That's some rather swift maker magic you have there. Fast is good, but you're not fast enough. Racer appeared first in front of Leon kicking him in the gut, then he appeared in front of Gray and punched him in the face. You don't have the speed to keep up with me. I can't hit him, Gray said annoyed. Calm down, Gray. 4 o'clock. We can stop him. We just need to focus, Leon said. Focus? Huh, okay, Gray said as they both removed their upper clothing. Let's do it, Leon. Fire on my mark. With all your might, Leon said as they stood back to back. Now. 50 meters directly ahead. Got you now. Ice make. Geyser. Ice make. Snow dragon. Gray made a geyser out of ice but Racer dodged by leaping up in the air and then ran down the back of Leon's ice dragon. Damn, Gray cursed. He's increased his speed, Leon said when suddenly Racer slammed into them. What's the matter? I'm over here, Racer mocked. Leon looked in the sky and saw some birds moving at lightning fast speed. You can attack me for as long as you live and you'll never hit me. No one can keep up with my speed. Now, then, time for me to finish you off and retrieve the girl. Listen, Gray, Leon said gaining Gray's attention. I've discovered his weakness. A strategy meeting. How pointless, Racer said as Leon whispered something into Gray's ear. Okay, got it, Leon asked. Say what? Gray questioned. You heard me. You are unnecessary, Leon said and froze Gray in a block of ice. Hey, damn you, Leon, Gray said as the block of ice grew in size into that of a tower. Damn it, let me down, Leon. Quit screwing around. Just sit there and watch, Gray. Leon said. Infighting? Huh, man. Talk about harsh. Racer said. Please don't misunderstand. He and I are not friends. We simply studied under the same master. Nothing more. Leon said. But, Leon-sama. Sherry ran out from the woods towards Leon. Don't complain. Lamia Scale will earn all the credit for this. Let's do this, Sherry. Leon said. Alright, Sherry uttered. Oh, brother. Arrogance like that is what lets victory slip away. Not like you ever had a chance to begin with, though. Racer mocked. Enough of your talk, Leon said as Racer vanished. Marionette attack. Rock doll. A large golem made out of stone popped out from the ground and swung its fist at Racer, whom vanished at high speed. Nice power, but it lacks speed. Too slow. Too slow. Racer kept attacking the rock golem at full speed. I can't see him, Sherry said. In that case, wood doll. A large golem made out of a tree appeared swinging its branches after Racer, whom kept dodging by going upwards. You can't stop me with magic like that. How about this, then? Sherry said as the branches from the tree golem all cramped into Racer. Just kidding, Racer said and vanished. He's free. Sherry questioned when she was pushed to the ground with Racer now behind her. Too slow. Racer dodged an ice dragon from Leon. He then looked to the side to see Leon running. Over here, Slowpoke. Leon mocked. Now that's an interesting name. But you're the Slowpoke. Racer ran after Leon at high speed. Your weakness is your lack of attack power. Leon turned around with his hands gathered, letting out a cold breeze. Fast or not, your attacks lack finality. Ice make. Hedgehog. Leon made spikes out of ice on his back, as Racer stopped in his tracks. Rush into me and you'll be skewered. Leon leapt into the air. What's the matter? Let's see you use your beloved speed to get me now. How naive. Racer said as a magic circle formed beneath him. Gear change. Red zone. Racer moved at an even faster speed and appeared in front of Leon and kicked him into the ground. That was my top speed just now. Did you actually think I'd go all out against a lesser opponent right from the start? Leon ran. I'm just getting started. Hey, now, where do you think you're going? Racer appeared in front of him and kicked him. But Leon got up and kept running. Racer then appeared behind him and kicked him in the back. Leon kept getting back up and Racer kept attacking him. What happened to all that bravado you had? Huh, Racer said and punched Leon across the face, but Leon got back up. Stubborn one. Leon ran to the edge of a cliff and turned around. Ice make. Eagle. Several ice eagles flew at Racer, whom easily dodged them with his speed. You can't hit me. Don't you get it, yet? What's the matter? Is that all you got? You seem at a real loss. Racer bombarded Leon with punches and kicks. Leon then crashed into a log as Racer appeared in front of him looking down on him. You said I lack finality. If it's finality you want, Racer took an ice pick and raised it above his head ready to stab Leon. This has more than enough. With my speed, I can finish you off well before you can use any sort of magic. I guess there's nothing wrong with being cocky while you're young, but you were unlucky enough to run into me. I'm one of the Oración Cis. 6 demons, 6 prayers, 6 unwavering pillars. Those who try to shake them will only meet their deaths. Just as I thought, Leon said as he saw a bird moving at normal speed this time. When I saw those distant birds flying at tremendous speeds, I figured out the trick to your magic. Leon said as Racer gulped. Your magic doesn't make you faster. It lowers the perception of speed for a target, no, for everything within a certain area. In other words, I was slowed down. That's all. The only reason Itachi was able to dodge and keep up with you back when we first met, was because of those legendary eyes of his. And, because your magic only works within a fixed area, the moment I was outside of it, I saw that, Leon said with a smirk as the large tower of ice holding Gray in the distance had its top around Gray blown away, revealing the ice mage with his hands gathered letting out a cold breeze. Your speed was gone. This is why you drew me away from him? Racer questioned with a hint of fear. Ah, now I got a clear shot. Gray said, but he's too far away. He'll never hit me. Racer said, he will. Whenever Fairy Tail feels strongly about something, no matter what it is, there's no stopping them. Leon said, Super Freeze Arrow. Gray shot an arrow made out of ice at incredible speed right at Racer. It's fast. Racer uttered as he was blasted with the ice arrow knocking him out. Gray and Sherry arrived at Leon's location and looked at the knocked out Racer. We did it, Leon. Gray said. To think there are still 5 others like him, Leon said. Yeah, And that Sasori guy who's even tougher than Laxus, who was one of my guild's strongest. Gray said, sheesh. I really believed you two had an argument. Sherry said, that's my senior pupil for you. Can you stand? Gray offered a hand, but Leon turned away. Don't patronize me. Leon grunted. It's not done yet. In the name of the Oración Cease, I refuse to accept defeat. Racer said as a device of some kind was on his chest. That's a bomb lacrima, Sherry said. Bastard. You can't be serious. Gray said. One target, one kill. Racer said with a crazed grin. Why you? Gray tried to use magic but fell to the ground. Crap. My magic. Not now. Gray said as Racer ran towards him, when suddenly Leon pushed himself and Racer off the cliff. Leon-sama, Sherry said as Leon and Racer fell down the cliff. Suddenly a bright light of an explosion appeared around the area where they fell. No. Leon-sama, Sherry cried. Leon. Gray shouted. Back at the Oración Cease hideout, Brain began shaking as a mark on his face vanished. Racer is gone. One of the 6 demons has fallen. You have to expect some loss. Sasori sat at a table working on a puppet that you could only see the lower part of, but the puppet had a familiar blue military outfit. I underestimated the enemy. Brain said. I warned you, none of your teammates are strong enough to take on Itachi, and of course with our fewer numbers we are at a disadvantage. Sasori said. I didn't want to believe you about this Itachi character, but, are you strong enough to beat him? Brain questioned. I have never fought against him before, but I know that he was slightly more powerful than I was. However, that was then and this is now. Of course he might have improved as well, but I doubt he's ready for what I have in store. Or, maybe my poison has already managed to kill him, or maybe he's being as stubborn as always and has managed to fight it. Sasori said, are you ready to go out and fight yet? I didn't pay you so that you would just sit around and do nothing. Brain complained. Don't worry, I'm just doing some last-minute improvements on my newest masterpiece. Besides, I hate to keep people waiting, I will finish as quickly as possible. Sasori said and kept working on his puppet. I guess I have no choice but to send him out in the meantime. Brain looked over to Midnight. Midnight. Brain woke up the sleeping man who lazily opened his eyes. You're awake. Eliminate every last one of them. Yes, father. Midnight rubbed the back of his head. With Itachi, what was that sound? Natsu questioned. It sounded like an explosion. Mira said with a concerned look for their comrades. Itachi looked with his Sharingan at the area of the explosion to see if he could see which energy signature was in that area. No good, it's too far away from here, I can't detect anyone. Do you think it was one of ours? Or the Oración Cease? Mira asked. Amongst our group the only one of us that can create explosions of any kind are the 3 of us. It either was an enemy, or one of our friends used their attack to counter an enemy and that caused the explosion. Itachi said. Then he summoned a crow that flew down onto his shoulder. Go, see if you can find out what it was and report back. Itachi said as the crow flew off. Then a bunch of other crows appeared around him. Locate the others and if you see that they are in any sort of danger, report back to me. Itachi said as the crows flew off in different directions. Anyway, let's get Wendy back to the base, we're not too far away. Itachi said as they began to move. As they moved through the woods going back to the others, a crow flew down onto Itachi's shoulder. It's back, Natsu said. Well, Itachi asked the crow and looked it in the eyes with his Sharingan to get the information it saw. Itachi widened his eyes and then narrowed them into a look of sorrow. The explosion came from a lacrima bomb on the Oración Cease member known as Racer. Racer. That guy Gray was fighting? Natsu questioned. Is Gray okay? Mira asked. Gray is fine, but Leon apparently saved Gray by pushing Racer of a cliff, along with himself. Whether Leon is dead, I do not know. But Gray went down the cliff to look for them. Itachi replied. No way. Mira gasped with a saddened expression. I fought that guy on Galuna Island, there's no way something like that will finish him off. We have nothing to worry about. Let's move forward, Natsu declared with a grin. Natsu, Itachi uttered. He's fine here, let's go, Natsu said. We have to have faith in our comrades. Faith alone will not save someone from death, you know. Itachi said. Itachi, Mira uttered and remembered the fact that Itachi had lost his entire family. There's no wonder why he seems to have a hard time believing Natsu's words. But, I don't really know the guy. And nothing is certain yet, besides I myself could have found multiple ways to survive such an explosion. So, if he is nearly as much of a tactician as Gray is, I don't think there's much call for concern. Itachi said with a small inward smile. Mira looked at Itachi with a smile, and Natsu had a grin on his face. See, he'll be fine. Natsu said as they kept going through the forest. It should be right around here. Itachi said as they pushed through a bush and spotted Lucy and Hibiki. We made it, Natsu declared. Natsu, Lucy said. What's the deal? The map in my head suddenly, Natsu said as the map had vanished from their minds. Never mind that, just put Wendy down for now. Hibiki said. Where's Urza? Itachi questioned. She recovered and left not too long ago. Lucy replied. I see, Itachi said as he looked at the crow that was still on his shoulder and it flew off. Hey, we should wake up Wendy and see if she can heal your sickness. Mira said. Oh yeah, I forgot. Natsu said and grabbed Wendy by the shoulders and began shaking her. Wake up, Wendy, we need you to heal Itachi. Come on, oi, Natsu take it easy, Lucy said with a sweat drop. Wendy then woke up and began backing away while crying. I'm sorry, Wendy said feeling guilty about healing Jalal. Never mind that right now. Itachi is very sick, so please, heal him. Please, Natsu said on his knees. Sick? Wendy questioned and looked at the Uchiha. He doesn't look sick, he's just putting on the tough guy act. We need him at full strength in the fight against the Oración Cease. Hibiki said. Please, help him in any way you can. Mira begged. Oh of course, yes, I'll do it, Wendy declared as she went over to Itachi who sat on his knees. Suddenly a blue aura came from her hands. I have never seen anything like this, your heart and your lungs are infected by some kind of virus. Wendy said with wide eyes of shock as she tried to heal him. I can't heal you, Wendy uttered with tears coming from her eyes. I'm sorry, you're dying because I'm useless, I'm sorry. Itachi placed his hand on Wendy's head and gently began rubbing her hair. It's okay, it's not your fault, Itachi said with a kind smile. If I can't get healed then so be it, I will just have to look for that last medical herb. I will find a way, please don't cry. Wendy looked at him with teary eyes. I can't help it, Wendy said and kept on crying as Itachi nervously chuckled. Itachi placed his forehead on Wendy's forehead and looked her straight in the eyes. Cheer up, it's going to be okay, Itachi said and moved back. Well I can't heal you completely but maybe I can ease the sickness a bit, Wendy said and began to focus even harder. Itachi's body then began to glow in a blue aura as he felt the pain in his body easing up and he felt a power flowing through him. I feel stronger, I eased up your sickness a bit, you will not be able to fight at full power. But you can at least use more than before, Wendy said. Thank you, Itachi thanked with a smile. Now listen, please don't have Wendy use any more sky magic. As you can see, it uses up a lot of her magic power. Charles said. I'm fine. More importantly, Wendy muttered. It's fine, I guess it's time to begin our counterattack. Hibiki interrupted. Yeah, we'll beat you, Oración Cease, Lucy declared. Yeah, we won't let you have Nirvana, Happy declared when suddenly a pillar of black light appeared in the middle of the forest. A pillar of black light, Wendy uttered. Nirvana, Itachi said. That's Nirvana, Hibiki questioned. Such dark magic power, Mira uttered in awe. Oración Cease base, Father, Midnight said as he, Brain and Sasori looked at the pillar of black light. And no question about it, Brain uttered in awe. So, that's Nirvana, Sasori said with a bored expression. Congratulations, I will go and eliminate the guild wizards now. Before midnight, you go to that light, Father, Midnight said. Brain nodded. Well then, I will stay here and finish my puppet. Sasori went back into the cave. Back with Itachi and the others. Don't tell me the Oración Cease beat us to the punch, Lucy questioned. That light, Jalal is there, Natsu declared thanks to his dragon nose he could smell Jalal's scent. Jalal, Lucy questioned in shock. Natsu then ran off into the forest. Natsu, what is this about Jalal? What are you talking about? It's my fault, Wendy said. A crow landed on Itachi's shoulder. Seems Urza is heading towards that source of light. I will go after her, there's no telling how she will react when she meets Jalal, Itachi said and ran into the forest. Wait, I'm going with you. Mira ran after Itachi. Itachi looked at the pillar of black light. If Urza gets any negative emotions when she meets Jalal, she will. What do you mean by that? Mira questioned. Hibiki told me, Flashback: just before the groups were splitting up, Itachi stood in the corner with Hibiki. You know more about Nirvana than you told us back at the mansion. I could see it in your eyes. Itachi said. Hibiki sighed. I knew I couldn't keep a secret from you. I will tell you, but you can't tell the others now. You can tell them if Nirvana gets activated though. Well, what is Nirvana? Itachi asked. It's as we said back at the mansion, but I left out the part that I know what kind of magic it uses. Hibiki replied. Magic? What kind of magic does it use? Itachi asked. It switches between dark and light. It can switch an evil person into a good person if that person has something positive in his or her mind. Same with good guys turning bad if they have a negative emotion. Hibiki explained. So, if anyone on our side feels a negative emotion, they will fall to the dark side. Itachi said. Yes. Hibiki replied. Flashback end. That's how it is. Itachi said as he and Mira kept running towards the pillar of black light. Then if any of us have a negative emotion, we will turn evil. Mira questioned. Seems so. Itachi replied. I can't let that happen. Itachi thought. What if someone already has switched? Mira questioned. Good point. I will check with the crows I sent for each of our comrades. Itachi closed his right eye and sent his chakra through his crow summonings to see what they see. Let's see. Seems Hotai from the Oracion Sea switched. He's with Jura now. So, one less of them to worry about. That's a relief. Mira said. Quote. Itachi's sweat dropped at what he saw. What? Seems Uchiha has been captured by a small group of people from a dark guild. They're taking him to the Oracion Sea member known as Angel. Shouldn't we help him? Mira questioned. Each of those crows will turn into a clone of me when one of them is in extreme danger. And since it hasn't happened yet, he's not in any form of danger, yet that is. Itachi replied. What about the others? Oh boy, seems that Sherry has switched. Probably because of what happened to Leon. Itachi said. What about Leon? Any sign that he's alive? Mira asked. Well, the crow in the area detects 4 energy signatures. One is Sherry, the other one is Gray. I think it's safe to assume the 2 others are Racer and Leon. It seems only Hotai and Sherry have switched, everyone else seems fine. Itachi said, but then he noticed something in one of the crows. What do we have here? With Natsu. Huh, that smell. Natsu went towards a river seeing someone in an orange hoodie floating in the water. I knew it. Gray, what are you doing here? Exclamation mark. What happened to Leon and that fast guy? Natsu walked into the river up to Gray. Hey. Natsu lifted Gray up. I'm in a hurry here, you know. Wake up, idiot. Natsu shook Gray, who later stood up. Gray. Natsu then widened his eyes in shock as Gray gave him a cold evil grin. Gray. Wah? Natsu questioned as Gray pulled a rope pulling up a raft beneath them. We're on a raft, Natsu shouted as he began feeling sick. Got ya, Natsu. Your weakness is riding vehicles, as I recall. What do you think? How does it feel being on a rickety raft? Gray asked with an evil smirk. Why you? Gray. Shut it. Gray stomped on Natsu's head. Just kick the bucket already, you motion sickness, slanty-eyed loser. It's time for our usual fights, Gray said as he formed a spear of ice in his hand. To finally come to an end. Gray chuckled when suddenly an arrow destroyed his ice spear. Who's there? Gray directed his hand to the source, sending lances of ice that got destroyed by arrows. What are you doing, Gray? Lucy asked, having summoned Sagittarius, as Happy, Charl and Hibiki, who carried Wendy, was beside her. It's us, Happy shouted. Thus, hello, Sagittarius said. Lucy. Natsu said and then looked like he was about to hurl. Could you please not almost puke after saying my name? Lucy screamed. You're mean, Gray. This is clearly going too far. Although I'd understand if he stole your fish or something. Happy shouted. HMPH. You guys are annoying me. I'll deal with you once I'm through with him. So butt out. Gray said with an evil grin. Gray. Happy uttered. What the? Exclamation mark. Don't tell me Gray's fallen to the dark side. Lucy questioned. Drifting. Wobbling. Swaying. Natsu uttered. It's not even moving. Get a hold of yourself. Lucy shouted. Natsu. I will save you. Happy said when suddenly he was frozen in a chunk of ice. Tomcat. Charles said. What did you just do to Happy? Lucy shouted. Happy flies. He can only carry one person. No combat abilities. Data collection complete. Gray said. What are you saying, Gray? Pull yourself together. Lucy said. Is that what happens to people who've fallen to the dark side due to Nirvana? Hibiki questioned. Gray's view of Lucy. She's a newcomer to the guild. He's quite fond of her looks. He has a thing for her. Gray said. Huh, what? Lucy questioned with a blush. She's purer of heart than she seems. She's a celestial wizard. Oh, celestial? Huh, interesting. Gray sent a wave of ice at Lucy that was blocked by Hibiki. No, you aren't Gray. Who are you? Hibiki questioned. He's not Gray. Lucy questioned. Gray's view of Hibiki. Member of Blue Pegasus. Manly. No further details. Bah, not much info. Huh. The fake Gray said. Who are you? Lucy questioned. The fake Gray then began to chuckle. Piri, and then it turned into Lucy. Me. Lucy questioned. You must not be very smart. You can't honestly expect to fool us by transforming into Lucy under these circumstances. Hibiki said. Oh, really? Guys like you are weak when it comes to girls, right? Fake Lucy said and lifted her shirt giving a full view of her boobs. KYYYYYYYAAAAA. The real Lucy screamed as Hibiki and Sagittarius had wide eyes and a blush as they looked at this display. Males. Charles said with a cold expression. Wobbling. Natsu uttered. Indeed. Hibiki and Sagittarius said in unison. Don't be clever. Lucy kicked them to the side. Honestly, what a disgraceful wizard. Charles said. That's not me. Well, it's me, but it's not. This makes no sense. Lucy cried. Celestial data collection complete. Oh, wow, you have a lot of keys. You even had an audience with the Celestial Spirit King. Impressive for someone with so little magic power. Well, whatever. Okay, Sagittarius. If you would, please. The fake Lucy said when suddenly Sagittarius shot arrows at Lucy and Hibiki. Hello, Sagittarius. Lucy shouted as Hibiki got knocked out. What are you doing, traitorous horse? Charles questioned. It's not what thusly think. I didn't mean to do this. Sagittarius said looking confused as to what happened. Hibiki. Hang in there. Lucy went over to the wounded pretty boy of Blue Pegasus, she then turned to her fake. Did you just control my celestial spirit? Yep. I can do everything you can now. The fake Lucy said with a smirk. Forgive me, Lady Lucy and Sir Hibiki. My body is moving on its own. Charles. Take Wendy and run. Lucy shouted as Hibiki used his magic to block Sagittarius's arrows. I was planning on doing that already. Charles said as she flew off with the unconscious little Wendy. Sagittarius. Forced gate closure. Take a break for a while. Lucy said holding Sagittarius's key. My deepest apologies, hello. Sagittarius went back to the spirit realm. Okay, then, open. Gate of the Horseman. Sagittarius. The fake Lucy held up an identical key and puff appeared Sagittarius. You called. Hello. Sagittarius greeted in a salute. Wait. Just what is going on? Hello. Sagittarius questioned in confusion. I'm the one who summoned you. So now I'm your owner. The fake Lucy said playfully sticking out her tongue. Indeed, that is the truth. Hello, so, shoot down that flying cat, will you? The fake Lucy pointed at Charles. What? You refuse to obey your owner. Even if you have the same abilities and looks, you aren't the real Lady Lucy. I realize that, and yet, Sagittarius said as he aimed his bow and arrow at the flying cat and the little girl. Stop. Sagittarius. Lucy commanded. Lady Lucy, right. Sagittarius. Forced gate closure. Lucy swung the key but nothing happened. It's no use. I'm the one who summoned him. Only I can force him back. The fake Lucy said with a malicious grin. You can't be serious. Now shoot that cat already. Fake Lucy ordered when suddenly some kunai knife stabbed into Sagittarius sending him back into the spirit realm. Ow. And thank you. Hello. Crow feathers fell around them as in front of Lucy stood Itachi. You guys okay? Itachi. How did you get here? Thought you went with Mira to find Urza. Lucy questioned. That's the original. I'm just a clone. The original sent out several crows to watch over our comrades, and when they would be in a life or death situation the crows would turn into clones of him. The moment Sagittarius was about to shoot down Charles and Wendy I arrived. Itachi explained. Lucy's view of Itachi. Member of Fairy Tail. S-class wizard. One of the handsomest men she has ever met. Very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Skilled in both element magic and illusions from what she has seen. Scary. Titania Urza's older brother. Oh, she has a thing for him. The fake Lucy analyzed making Lucy blush. It's not what you think. Lucy said with a blush. Let's see if you are just as weak as most men. Fake Lucy lifted up her shirt giving a full view of her boobs, again. Kya, stop doing that, Lucy screamed. She then looked over at Itachi, who remained emotionless. No reaction. Don't get the wrong idea, I do like women. However, I only react in situations like these when it involves a girl I like in that way. Itachi said with a deadpan expression. Although thanks to my Sharingan, that image will be in my mind forever. Sometimes having it can be such a bother. Itachi thought with a sigh. Huh, seems you're only interested in that Mira Jane. I wonder, how would you have reacted if I looked like her? Fake Lucy questioned with a sadistic giggle. You're Gemini, angel celestial spirit. You can copy anyone you touch and their abilities, and you get all of their memories. Itachi said as the fake Lucy turned into the two tiny blue dolls. Piri Piri. This is the second time he has found us out. Gemini said. Well, after seeing you two in action last time, anyone should have been able to figure out who you are. Well, almost everyone. Angel arrived at the scene with a condescending smirk. Well, now as Nirvana has been found, that little brat is of no use. Angel said and looked at Charl and Wendy vanishing into the distance. Hi, Lucy-chan. Angel-chan has arrived. You're one of the Oración Cis. Lucy said. Yep. These little ones can fully copy a target's looks, skills, and thoughts. Angel said. I'm Gemmy. One of the Gemini introduced themselves. I'm Minnie. The other one introduced. They're Gemini, the celestial spirit twins. I'm a celestial wizard too. Angel said with an evil smirk. A celestial wizard, just like me. Lucy said. I want your keys. I'm going to eliminate you and take your celestial spirits. Angel said. I don't think so. Lucy declared. I will deal with Gemini, you take care of Angel. As a clone, I doubt I have enough power to take her on. Itachi said. Yeah, I know. Open. Gate of the water bearer. Aquarius. Lucy placed a key in the water and out popped the blue-haired mermaid, Aquarius. Get. Even if you have to take me out too. I was already planning on doing so. Aquarius said. You were. It's time to go flying, all of ya. Aquarius gathered water into her urn. Open. Gate of the Scorpion. Scorpio. Angel summoned a spirit. It was a young muscular man with tan skin. He had a large mechanical scorpion tail on his back, and his hair was split in white and red on one side each. He wore a red cloth wrapped around his waist. We are. Yeah, Scorpio said. Scorpio. Aquarius went all lovey-dovey. Say wah. Lucy shouted and Itachi sweat dropped. We are. How you doing, Aquarius? Long time, no see, yeah. Scorpio said as Aquarius snuggled up against him. I missed you so much. Sob. Sob. Don't tell me he's the boyfriend you always talk about, Lucy said. Yep. That's him. Aquarius replied with a lovey expression. We are. Nice to meet ya, Aquarius owner. Yeah, oh, man, and what's gotten into Aquarius? Lucy questioned in shock. Go ahead, say something snarky about Scorpio. I'll do more than injure you permanently. Got it, huh? Aquarius said with lots of killing intent. Yes, Lucy quickly replied. Say, wanna get a bite to eat? Aquarius went back into lovey mode with Scorpio. We are. I know a restaurant with an aurora-filled view. So, hope you don't mind if I go, Angel. Yeah, Scorpio said. Go ahead. Angel waved them off. Hold on. Aquarius. Wait. Lucy said as the two spirits vanished. No, you have some colorful spirits there, Itachi said with a sweat drop. Gemini then flew up and turned into gray. Ice make. Lance. Gemini gray shot lances made of ice at Itachi, who leapt back to dodge, and then Itachi performed a few hand signs. Fire style. Fireball. Itachi spat out a large ball of fire at Gemini gray, who then turned into Natsu and devoured the flame. I'm all fired up. Piri Piri. Fire dragon. Roar. Gemini Natsu let out a wave of fire at Itachi and Lucy. Water style. Water wall. The water from the lake turned into a wall surrounding Itachi and Lucy. Gemini Natsu then surrounded its body with fire and charged at the wall of water like a missile. Fire dragon. Sword horn. Water style. Water shark bomb. A shark made of water charged at Gemini Natsu and exploded when it collided with him, creating a cloud of steam. Gemini then turned into Uchiha. Men. Gemini Uchiha released a purple perfume. Men. Wind style. Vacuum vortex. Itachi blew a vortex of wind and blew away the purple perfume cloud. Man. Gemini Uchiha paled as Itachi threw a kunai with a paper bomb tag. The moment before the paper bomb tag exploded, Gemini turned into Natsu. Gemini Natsu devoured the fiery explosion. Gemini Natsu charged at Itachi with his fists covered in fire. Gemini Natsu threw a punch but Itachi dodged by tilting his head to the side. Gemini Natsu threw a barrage of punches but Itachi dodged them all with his Sharingan, seeing all the movement before they happened. Stand still. Gemini Natsu shouted. Why? So that you could turn into me too? I don't think so. Itachi leapt back as he stood on the water with lightning flickering around him. Lucy, get out of the water. Alright. Lucy quickly got out of the water. Chidori stream. Itachi placed his palm on the water, sending a wave of lightning electrocuting Gemini Natsu. Lucy brought out a new golden key and summoned Loki. Your prince has arrived. L. Leo. Hibiki questioned as Loki was once the celestial spirit of a member of Blue Pegasus. Please. The guild's in danger unless we beat her. Lucy said. No problem. Do you know how important celestial spirits' relationships are? Open. Gate of the Ram. Aries. Angel summoned a pink-haired curvy girl wearing clothes made of lamb fur. She also had horns on her head. The girl looked shy. I'm sorry, Leo. Aries. Loki said in shock. That's Karen's. Hibiki said. Karen's celestial spirit. Aries. What is she doing here? Lucy questioned and then gained a look of sadness. Now not even Loki can fight. She then looked at Angel in anger. How do you have Karen's celestial spirit? I'm the one who eliminated Karen. And this was the spoils of war. Angel said and patted Aries on the head. I'm sorry, that girl didn't have much magic power but tried to open 2 gates at the same time anyway. She destroyed herself. But I was the one who finished her off, of course. I've offed many celestial wizards and taken their keys. And now I'm going to take your celestial spirits too. Angel said with a smirk. Itachi dodged Gemini Natsu's fiery breath attacks, and leapt from tree to tree. Do you really feel satisfied working for someone like Angel? I bet you're jealous of the treatment Lucy gives her spirits. Shut it. Gemini Natsu turned into gray. Ice make. Ice cannon. Gemini Gray created a cannon out of ice and blasted out a ball of ice directed at Itachi. Fire style. Fireball. A ball of fire exploded when it collided with the ball of ice. You get to meet again and yet your enemies, Loki. Go back to your world. Lucy said. Loki grabbed Lucy's wrist. Please don't undervalue us, Lucy. Even if we were former friends, having different owners makes us enemies. Celestial spirits are meant to fight for their owners. Even if we're indebted to our opponent, we must defeat the enemy for our masters. Ares said. That's what we pride ourselves in. Loki and Ares charge, Loki letting out a golden glow and Ares with some pink fluff. Oh, they're fighting. Well, this is rather interesting, so I'll allow it. Angel said with an amused grin. No, this isn't right. Lucy cried. Itachi threw some kunai knives at ice lances. Do you really want someone like Angel as a master who doesn't even respect her spirits? I have to serve my master, it's a matter of pride. Gemini Gray declared. What's more important, pride, or respect and love? Itachi asked. Enough talk. Lucy widened her eyes in shock as Angel summoned another spirit that was a mechanical ball. It turned into a cannon and blasted Ares and Loki. Angel let out a sinister laugh. Perfect. Leo. Ares said as she began to fade away. Ares. Loki said as he began to fade away. I'm sorry, Lucy. You've met a great owner. I'm so happy, Ares said as they both vanished. What do you think? That's how you pull off simultaneous gate opening. Now your powerful Leo will be out of commission for a while. Angel said. Unbelievable. Lucy clenched her fist in anger. How so? Celestial spirits don't die. What's the big deal? Angel said, showing a sadistic grin to Lucy. But they do feel pain. They do have feelings. You honestly call yourself a celestial wizard? Lucy said, enraged. What's with that look? It annoys me. Free Ares. Lucy demanded. What? You got to be kidding me. See, she cares about your kind more than anyone. Itachi said as Gemini Gray widened his eyes in shock and stared at Lucy. She was tortured by her previous owner, and has suffered so much, so, please, I just want Ares and Loki to be together. And only we celestial wizards can make that happen. Lucy said with so much determination that Gemini started to look at her with a sad expression. For free? Angel questioned. I'll give you anything, except for my keys. I'll give you anything of mine you want. Then, I'll take your life. Angel said with a dark smile as the robotic ball turned into a gun and charged up, then blasted a green ray at Lucy. Instead on focusing on your own pride, try focus on things that are around you. Do that, and you will find what you really seek. Itachi said and leapt in front of the ray, taking the hit. You have a free mind, use it. Itachi said as he vanished in a puff of smoke. Now that he's out of the way, Gemini, finish her. Angel ordered. Gemini turned into Lucy as all of Lucy's thoughts rushed through her mind, her love for celestial spirits, how they are not shields but her precious friends. I can't do it. Lucy loves us celestial spirits from the bottom of her heart. Gemini, Lucy cried. Gemini, Lucy muttered. Be gone. Angel said as Gemini went back to the spirit realm. Useless good for nothings. Hibiki placed his hand on Lucy's shoulders. Hold still. My archive magic will grant you the knowledge to use an ultra magic spell just one time. Hibiki said as Lucy's body began letting out a huge amount of light. What is this? There are diagrams in my head, diagrams I have never seen before. Lucy said. Damn you, Kylum. Angel ordered as the robotic ball turned into a gun. Stars far and wide that measure an open heavens, with thy radiance, reveal thy form to me. O Tetrabiblios, I am the ruler of the stars. The aspect is complete. Open the raging, tumultuous gate. Lucy chanted as it looked like they were all surrounded by stars. What is this? Kylum, hurry. Angel ordered with a hint of fear in her voice. With all 88 heavenly bodies, shining. Urano Matoria. Lucy chanted as all the stars attacked Angel, sending her crashing into the lake. Lucy looked around with a confused expression at what had happened. Huh? Lucy questioned, looking around in confusion, not seeing the crow looking at them from a tree branch. With Itachi and Mira, Itachi had a small inward smile as he and Mira ran towards the source of the black light. How did it go? Mira asked. Lucy defeated Angel, that's 2 down, and 1 that switched sides. That leaves 3 of the Oracion Cease left, Sasori, and possibly Jalal. Itachi said as they got closer to the pillar of black light. Huh, my crows. What happened? They're all gone, someone took them out. And I've got a good idea about who did it. Itachi narrowed his eyes. In an unknown location, Sasori walked past a dead crow that had a kunai in it. He really thinks I would fall for this. He should have known better. I know all about these little crows of yours, Itachi. Sasori said as behind him was the mysterious puppet he had been working on. But, at least it made up for some good tests. With my newest masterpiece, Sasori said with a smirk. Back with Itachi and Mira, suddenly the pillar turned into pure light. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Mira asked. I don't think we want to find out, in there. Quickly, Itachi said as he and Mira ran into a cave opening from the source of the light. A lot of wind blew towards them, but they pushed through until they saw the light. They were inside of a cave, and in front of them were Urza and Jalal. Urza. Itachi ran towards his little sister. Oni-chan. Urza questioned and then quickly turned to Jalal. She then quickly stepped in front of Jalal. Wait, it's not what you think. He doesn't remember anything, he has no memory. No memory, it's just like you thought it was. Mira said, looking at Itachi, who simply glared at Jalal with his Sharingan spinning. Doesn't change the fact that I still remember. I remember you making Urza cry, I remember you killing Simon, I remember you threatening our lives. I remember stopping you, Itachi said and gently pushed Urza to the side. You stopped me? Jalal questioned. Itachi could clearly see signs of Jalal having cried, most likely from Urza already telling him what he did. Yeah, I stopped you. And mark my words, if you try anything I will do it again. Itachi said as he stood face to face with Jalal. But, first we need to stop the Oracion Cease. Come out, Cobra, I know you're in here. TCH. So, you knew I was in here. So Jalal lost his memories. It's no wonder I couldn't hear his mind's voice. Cobra said with his snake circling around his body. One of the Oracion Cease. Urza and Mira went into fighting stance. How did you get here? And, why did you break the seal on Nirvana? Cobra questioned, looking at Jalal. I heard someone's voice while I was asleep. Must obtain Nirvana, it said. I could vaguely remember that spell and where it was hidden. This magic is dangerous. No one can be allowed to have it. That's why I lifted the seal to destroy it completely. Jalal declared as everyone, even Itachi, was shocked. You intend to destroy Nirvana? Urza questioned. I've already set a self-destruction magic circle in place. Soon, Nirvana shall annihilate itself. Jalal said as a magic circle formed around the pillar of light. Cobra quickly rushed over to the magic circle, trying to deactivate it. What kind of advanced magic circle is this? Nirvana's gonna be obliterated unless I do something. Cobra said in fear over losing his dream. Jalal, give me the disarm codes, damn it. Cobra demanded. Jalal then clenched his chest. Urza, I sense kindness from that name, kindness, cheerfulness, and warmth. I'm sure you will continue to hate me. It can't be helped. It's only natural. But the hatred will only rob you of your heart's freedom and eat away at you. Warrior. Urza widened her eyes in shock as she saw a similar magic circle appear on Jalal's chest. I can't go that far. I can't reach you, Jalal uttered. What is he? Cobra questioned as Jalal fell backwards into the pillar of light. Be free. From Jalal, I'll take your hatred and sadness with me, Jalal uttered. He placed a self-destruct magic circle on himself. Cobra twitched his eyes in anger. You're free now, Jalal said with a smile. Tears ran down Urza's face as she rushed to Jalal. Jalal. Jalal felt a hand grab onto him. He looked up and saw Itachi, who grabbed his arm. Itachi gritted his teeth. You will not get off the hook that easily. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. The next episode will be out soon.